If I asked you, besides the plot, what is something you love about your favorite movie or TV show? I guarantee that at least one of you said the soundtrack or the music. And I don't blame you for saying that. Music is incredibly important in media. Whether it's for a triumphant or sad scene, music is, in my opinion, essential for TV and movies. I mean, some of the greatest moments in media are enhanced by their soundtracks. Star Wars is iconic for its music, boss battles in video games, literally any scene from Christopher Nolan's Interstellar. Music is a beautiful and unique thing that can really enhance a film. It can add meaning, it can help convey an emotional scene better, The Shining being a really good example. But what happens when you take all of that away? What happens when you get rid of the one thing that apparently enhances media? Well, today, we'll explore that, because I have a few examples with great moments or scenes where I think silence, funnily enough, has just as much, if not more impact than a scene with music. Today we talked about the beauty and the quiet impact of silence. Remember to leave a like and turn notifications on. Now let's get started.
Okay, so try again, release yourself.
Oh, release you mean?
Yeah, fine, release me, just say it. Just f***ing say it.
Don't you swear at me, you little shit! Don't you ever raise your voice at me! I am your mother!
As we all know, I've recently fallen in love with the horror genre, but one thing I've noticed in horror media is the overuse of music or cheap sound effects. There are many times where a horror movie would benefit from an eerie silence, and I think Hereditary utilizes that perfectly. Though the music in this movie is phenomenal, thank you Colin Stetson, there's so many parts where that silence is equally as good, Annie's nightmare being a great example. Annie is seemingly woken up, seeing insects crawl around her walls as this really freaky music plays slowly to build tension. The music gradually builds up as she walks over to her son's bedroom before seeing the horrifying sight of her son covered in bugs. The shock, the terror in her face, the music really amplifying just how horrid of a scene and a sight it is. It's loud and intense until...
Mom, what are you doing?
The music cuts. It's so abrupt it honestly shocked me. The deafening silence as Annie and her son looked at each other, it made me think I muted my TV accidentally. The lack of, well, all noise really adds to the tension and the suddenness of Annie realizing that she was sleepwalking. But what hits hard is when Annie opens her mouth, responding to her son's question, "Why are you scared of me?"
I never wanted to be your mother.
This scene genuinely made me gasp out loud. It's just so well done, and that entire conversation is just... I'm getting chills just thinking about it. It's such a visceral moment, if I'm using the right word. The conversation becomes more and more shocking, downright disturbing, with each sentence before the sound of a match can be heard, engulfing Annie into flames before she finally really wakes up. But as great as that scene is, it doesn't even compare to the dinner scene. I know this has been talked about to death, but Hereditary's dinner scene really is just phenomenal. Not a single sound effect or a note of music for almost 4 or 5 full minutes of just awkward silence, slowly building up an uncomfortable amount of tension as Annie and Peter argue at the dinner table. The silence, along with the just perfect performances by Toni Collette and Alex Wolff, adding this uncomfortable realness to it all. It's an incredible scene for an incredible movie, but let's get out of the horror genre and talk about something more action-related.
You think I'm stupid enough to deprive myself of the best of us?
Take my life, Usul. It is the only way.
I'm pointing the way!
I love the recent Dune movies. They are insanely good, and I'm a proud owner of those Blu-rays. But putting it in this video feels a bit ironic, since I think these movies are perfect examples for films where the music actually makes things better. But the scene I want to talk about today is when Paul Atreides and Feyd-Rautha finally meet and fight. Dune has a lot of fights, most of them accompanied with the beautiful soundtrack by Hans Zimmer, but after so much build-up and plot twists and jaw-dropping spectacles, we reach near the end of the film, when everything was culminating to... and it's perfect. Paul and Feyd-Rautha kinda introduce each other, preparing for what's inevitably gonna happen, while there's this low music that plays throughout. Stating, "May thy knife chip and shatter," the music slowly fades out, and the battle commences. Everything about this fight is just amazing. There's no music, no one speaking besides a few gasps here and there. The only thing you can hear is knives clashing, the grunts between Paul and Feyd-Rautha, and sometimes the gentle sound of waves crashing, signifying Paul's dream for a green paradise. This fight is just so raw and brutal, and the cinematography really helps that. There's no shaky cams or annoyingly placed cuts that I remember. It's just a great looking fight, and that sound design really adds to the tension that the scene is trying to convey. It's a quick yet vicious fight that had me holding my breath the entire time. You can really feel the weight of each strike from both characters, and when Paul gains the upper hand, bringing Feyd-Rautha to his knees, that same low music from before slowly comes back, ending their fight.
You fought well, Atreides.
And this is easily my favorite scene in the whole movie, and it made me realize just how much cooler a fight scene can be when there is that lack of music and stuff. And because of that, there's another fight scene I'd like to talk about, and that is
Guran Logan! Spin on! Who the hell do you think I am?
Tengen Toppa Guran Logan is my favorite anime ever, which I have expressed a lot, but today we'll be talking about its second film, The Lights in the Sky Are Stars. I think Guran Logan is also one of the greatest examples of a piece of media that is really enhanced by its music. It's a badass show about guys fighting in robots that eventually spirals into an inspiring story about the indomitable human spirit and fighting a space god. The soundtrack is loud, hype, and really fits the tone perfectly in my opinion. Hip-hop, orchestral masterpieces, it's got phenomenal music, but in the second film, during Simon and his friend's final fight with the anti-spiral, when the hype meter has already been broken several times, Simon is closing in on his opponent as the opening song of the series plays. Watching this, I expected the fight to end similarly to the show. I mean, everything before was entirely different, but I wasn't expecting the whole thing to be that way. But then, after so much destruction and death, Simon is thrown down by his robot companion, Logan. Flying down at full speed, the music ramps up before Simon slams into his enemy, and the music, you guessed it, stops completely. I first watched this movie in 2020 in a Discord call with my friend Nico, because we watched like a bunch of anime movies together at that time on Discord, and let me tell you, we were speechless, shocked beyond belief. Similar to Dune Part 2, this fight is quick and brutal, or how the Guran Logan wiki describes it, the fight between evolution and stagnation has degenerated into a fist fight. That is such a cool line. I'm not following my script, that's just such a really cool way to describe it. In the vacuum of space, man versus God, Simon and the anti-spiral exchange a number of blows, their grunts and the firm impacts of their hits echoing in the void they stand in. It's just so raw. The animation is one thing. Guran Logan has never disappointed with its visuals, but that lack of music, that deafening silence, it just makes each punch and kick feel that more heavy and that more awesome. And after a brutal exchange of punches, Simon uses his own blood to form a drill, stating that his drill is his soul, before the two lunge at each other and Simon delivers the killing blow. The two share a few words before everything explodes in a bright and flashy explosion, ending the fight. Personally, though this is probably the shortest fight in the franchise, it is the one that impacted me the most. Everything about it was just so cool, that final encounter with the music stopping really being the highlight of it all. If there's three random things about films that I like, it's either weird monster designs, loud and siren-like soundtracks, or scenes that utilize silence or a lack of music in a really cool way. And I think the examples I talked about today are among some of the best, but if there's any similar moments that you like, please throw them down in the comments. Don't forget to check out my Instagram for more updates as I'm active there, and I'll see you all next time. Goodbye.
It ain't hard to